Hello and welcome. Today we are picking my April TBR, and of course we're going to be using TBR prompts. This is my TBR jar. I feel like it doesn't look like the classic TBR jar, but it's what I have and I don't have anything else to use this for, so this is what I'm using. I still have a good number of prompts in here. I haven't written any new prompts for a while and I feel like I'm kind of nearing the end. I have like at least 20 prompts in here, but it's probably about time for a refresh, so maybe soon I will do that. But so this month I actually don't want to be picking a lot of books on my physical TBR. I know. What am I doing? The reason is that I'm actually already planning on trying to read through Throne of Glass this month, and I want to get like a good chunk of the Throne of Glass series done. I'm on Crown of Midnight right now, so I'm doing pretty good, averaging like one book a week for the Throne of Glass, so maybe I'll go a little faster. But for that reason, I do want to pick a lot more audiobooks this month, so my goal is like maybe at least 3 audiobooks and maybe 2 other books, because I do think I can take a little bit of a break in between Throne of Glass books. I will also be on a lot of flights this month. I will have more time there, and I don't know if I want to read Throne of Glass on my flights. I've been doing like a bit of a reading vlog. I'm trying to. I don't know how good it is, but I don't want to vlog me reading on the flight, and the last time I read a book on a flight, I read the entire thing on the flight, so I don't want to just like have nothing for one of the Throne of Glass books. I'll probably read these books on my flights. So that's the plan. Maybe 2 books and 3 audiobooks. There are so many books on my physical TBR that I want to read though, but they must wait. Quick recap of the books I picked in March. I'm actually really proud of sticking to my March TBR. I read 4 of 5 of the books I picked in March, and the 5th one, the only reason I haven't read it is because it's just really long and it's just taking me a while. But The Covenant of Water is the one book that I have left to read. It's like 30 hours on audio, and it's kind of a slow read, struggling through it a bit. Like, especially at the beginning, I was like, I don't understand how these people's lives intersect. But I'm like more than 50% the way through, so I think I did a pretty good job on my TBR. So hopefully this month I can do just as well and actually read these books. But we'll see, because I have some pretty lofty goals with wanting to read the Throne of Glass series. Throne of Glass might just end up spanning a few more months than I was intending, but we'll see. First prompt. Brandon Sanderson. I actually didn't think I had a Brandon Sanderson prompt in here. I already thought I picked that prompt, but maybe it got back in there somehow. I might have just picked a lot of Brandon Sanderson books. That's also possible. I do have a lot of Brandon Sanderson books that I want to read. If I wasn't reading Throne of Glass, maybe I would pick Way of Kings, but also perhaps not. I kind of thought maybe I had another Skyward book left, but it doesn't look like I do. So I'm thinking Tress of the Emerald Sea or Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. There's also Tailored Realities, which is like a collection of short stories, but I'm a little nervous about that one because I think some of them are like, I would just have to look into which of those I would actually want to read based off of like if they're part of other series, or not, mainly if they're part of the Way of Kings. I've read a lot of his other series. Like Way of Kings is like his main series I have left to read. I don't even know if there's anything else. Yeah, so I think Tress of the Emerald Sea or Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. They're also both available as audiobooks. I know Tress of the Emerald Sea, he originally just wrote for his wife. Like he wasn't even planning on publishing it. I've also heard like mixed reviews about it. I think maybe it was written differently because it was written for his wife. So it's about this girl Tress who lives on her island home, very simple life, and then her father takes her on a voyage because he's going to find a bride, and then disaster strikes and she stows away on a ship and seeks the sorceress of the deadly midnight sea. And then Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, I'm kind of leaning towards Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. I don't know why. I mean, it says for fans of Asian pop culture. I could also read it when I go to Japan. If I go to Japan, the prices have been skyrocketing. Oil is disappearing. I don't know. I don't want to think about that. Anyways, I feel like Yumi and the Nightmare Painter gives me more fantasy vibes. Yeah, I think I'll go with Yumi and the Nightmare Painter for my Brandon Sanderson book. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if I'm going to read it on audio or an ebook, but I like having the option. And I think I would enjoy it either way. So, next prompt. I'm nervous because I don't know what prompts are in here anymore. Oh my gosh. We have moon on the cover. Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. I think there's a moon on the cover. Yeah, there's a moon on the cover of Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. Can I just pick that one? But we'll look at my audiobooks that I have. This is the most random prompt. Oh, maybe I wanted water moon. Sucks me, Ray. You're not getting it. There's the Isle and the Silver Sea. Again, I'm not trying to read a physical book, so this is not really a great prompt. But it does have a moon on the cover. I do really want to read it. But I don't think the second book is out yet. So, I also don't know if it's gonna be like a larger series. Like, I don't know if it's a duology or what. I also have The Prince Without Sorrow. This is also a series, I believe. I actually just double checked and The Isle and the Silver Sea is a standalone. I don't know why I thought it was a series. Maybe I'll read this actually. And then I'll have a physical book on my TBR and that would be fantastic. I'm just gonna check if I can get the ebook, because that would be even better. I might be able to get the ebook. I can try. But I don't have another option. So, The Isle and the Silver Sea for a book with a moon on the cover. Next we have People on the cover. I don't know if you can read that, but People on the cover, which is a pretty easy prompt. So I'm just gonna go straight to my audiobooks because we definitely need another audiobook. As I would have it, the audiobooks I have on Audible don't really have a lot of people on the cover. I have The Martian, which has an astronaut on the cover. That could be enough. I have 11/22/63, which I do want to read and is a good option. It is 30 hours. I'm already trying to get through a 30-hour book. I don't know that I should pick up another one right now. Less sure about that one. I might be more inclined to pick The Martian. If people start reading faster, maybe I can get No Matter What by Cara Bestone. It's not looking likely. It says I still have like 16 weeks to go, so probably not the best one to pick. If I don't want an audiobook, I have The Favorites by Lane Fargo, which is one of the books I want to read in 2026. So it is also a good option. About figure skaters. I like watching figure skating. Would I enjoy a book about figure skating? I don't know. Maybe. I've heard it's really good. I think I'm just gonna pick The Martian. The prompt did say people on the cover, which kind of makes me think that one person might not be enough. However, I think I'm just gonna go with The Martian. I think that's a good option. I do want to read it. I do have it. Next prompt. A scary book talk romance. I don't know what this means. I kind of know what it means, but it's very confusing prompt. But yeah, I'm basically referring to books that are very popular in book talk, and it's very difficult to tell if that means that it's actually a good book or that it's like a lot of book talk books that I have seen that have something to be desired. I do have some book talk romances that I want to read though. So one I've been hearing a lot about, and I've also heard a lot of mixed reviews about, is We Who Will Die by Stasia Stark. This is a romantasy, but I've heard really great things and I've heard really like mediocre things. So, like, I think it falls into a good category of scary book talk because it could be really good, but it could also not. I don't know that it's quite what I meant, but I think it's close enough. I also have Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. This one's older, and I don't know. I'm just like, I'm not feeling it as much. I did like kind of want to read it just because I've heard a lot about it over the years, but I don't think I'm feeling it this month. There's also the Bromance Book Club. Again, I don't know that this is scary, but I think the Bromance Book Club would just be like a very easy, light read. I do get the vibe that I wouldn't really enjoy it that much. I feel more confident that it would be like just a very mediocre book. Though I know a lot of people have read it. I think people have enjoyed it. But I think I'm going to go with We Who Will Die by Stasia Stark because I've seen more people really hyping it up lately. And I've also seen a lot of people really not hyping it up. It has more of a risk of either being really good or really bad. And it feels like it fits the prompt. I feel like I have to do it. I think it's a good airplane read. But I'm sure the people who really love the book would not agree with that statement. But we're going to do it anyways. Last prompt. Hoping for an audiobook. The best prompt would just be an audiobook. A new debut novel. I have to look up which ones are debuts. So a lot of the books, a lot of the audiobooks that I had on my list were not debut novels. I have a lot of I have Frida McFadden, Lisa Joel, 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. It is definitely not a new book. Probably isn't a debut either. I've also already read one of his books. Carabao Stone. Just not really debut novels. But I do have, the only book I have that's a debut novel is This Story Might Save Your Life by Tiffany Crum. I think I'll get it this month. I'm really unsure. It says I have several months, but there's also 38 copies in use. I don't know if that means that they're one-time only copies and they're gonna run out by the time it gets to me, or if Libby's being stupid. I guess the chances are Libby's not being stupid, but regardless, I'm gonna hope for the best and hope I get this in time. So I'm gonna pick, This Story Might Save Your Life. And it is a thriller. It does say romance too, and it always confuses me a little when books are labeled like a romance and a thriller, because why is there romance? What is the romance? I read, what was it? The first book I read by Geneva Rose. I think she writes a lot of romantic thrillers. Her first book I read was You Shouldn't Have Come Here. I was expecting a romance, and we did have a love interest in a sense in it, and I was like, okay, this is our romance. They're gonna get together, and there's gonna be some force outside of them. It was crazy, absolutely wild. So yeah, I don't know what romantic thriller means, but we'll see. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully I like it. But yeah, those are my books for April. So we have a physical book, even though I was not planning on it. How many audiobooks? Possibly 3 audiobooks if I read Yumi and the Nightmare Painter on audio, which I might. I do enjoy Brandon Sanderson's books on audio. I like his narrators. I actually don't know if I've read any of his books physically, which is a problem I should probably fix. I might read that on audio. And then we have A Scary Book Talk Romance, which is another, ebook, which I plan on reading on the plane, which is perfect. I need at least one easy plane read, and that's it. So I think I can maybe do this. I honestly not optimistic about The Isle on the Silver Sea just because it's a physical book, and I don't think I'll be here enough to read a physical book, and I don't know if I want to take it on my travels. So this one, less optimistic about. I might be able to get the ebook, and then maybe I'll read it on the plane. We shall see. I think I can at least do my 3 audiobooks. Actually, I think I can do the rest of them. I think it's just Isle on the Silver Sea that I'm not sure about. We'll see. I'll update you next month on how I did. That is my April TBR. Let me know what books you guys plan on reading this month. Any new releases that you're excited about. And I hope you guys have a fantastic month of reading. I will see you guys later. Bye.